Hey everyone, this is Goku-san DBZ, and this is a special new Rate 'em video. As I've done before, rate Super or whatever in Mortal Kombat X, as well as in the first Injustice and Injustice 2, and sometime in the future you can expect a Rate 'em Super for Mortal Kombat 11. And eventually one for also Infinite and Ultimate Marvel 3. But today is rate the costume in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Now first I'm gonna rate the Marvel characters, and then I will be rating the Capcom characters. So starting at the top with Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon!
Rocket's here to save the galaxy!
Thank you, Selection Boy Sky. Anyways, this is the main one, of course, with just different colors. Nothing special. Really, on a scale of 1 to 10 rating his costume, base one, I give it a, I don't know, give it probably a 5, 5.5. Nothing special. Now, this one is a little bit better because it actually looks like a space outfit, and it is a reference, of course, to some of the Guardian comic books as well. I give this one maybe a 6.5. I give it an extra point because I do like the fact that it does reference selected Guardian comics. Next up, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange!
I shall bring forth imagination into reality.
Okay, now his base costume, I actually do like Doctor Strange's base costume more than I do some of the others. And I like it looks like him from the 90s, like when he briefly appeared in the 90s animated Spider-Man series. Yes, Doctor Strange actually appeared in the Spider-Man the Animated Series, involving, of course, Dormammu, also Baron Mordo. Anyways, I give Doctor Strange's base costume a 6.5 to possibly a 7, around that. I'd say 6.5. I think it's pretty good overall, but his secondary, his special premium costume, I give it probably a 7.5 to an 8. It's actually really good. Pretty solid overall. Yeah, I give it a 7.5. I like it, honestly. I like it more than this one. Yeah, this one has the more classic Doctor Strange look. Well, this is referencing more recent years Doctor Strange designs in some Marvel comics, which I actually really like this redesign of Doctor Strange quite a bit. But to each their own. Next up,
Hawkeye!
I never miss. Count on it.
okay then, Hawkeye. Base costume actually looks a lot like from the MCU version of Hawkeye. I give his base version of Hawkeye, I give it probably a 6.5. I actually think it's not overall super bad. It's okay. It's not bad at all though. But yeah, I give it about 6.5. His premium costume though, talk about awesome looking. I give Hawkeye's special costume a 9 out of 10. It's solid, it's really well done. I just love overall the design. And actually, I'm one of those few people probably that actually likes playing with Hawkeye in the game. More so than a lot of people. Next up of designs, first we'll actually go with Gamora.
Gamora!
Itching for a fight.
I actually like her base costume with the armor. I actually think it looks pretty nice overall design-wise. I actually have to give her base design a few more points than her special, which is referencing the classic Guardian comics. I give this version of her outfit probably a 7.5 to an 8. I really do like the design. Now this version, I give probably about a 6.5. Well, 6 to 6.5, around that range. I don't personally like it as much, even though it is a reference to the comics. And also, I like the color augment. I like the purple armor on her. Now, next up, Ghost Rider.
It's judgment time.
Now his base costume isn't bad. I give Ghost Rider's base costume a 7 out of 10. It's actually pretty good. It's one of the better ones in my opinion, design. But his special, this version, referencing technically past Ghost Rider, I give this version costume, I give it probably an 8.5 to possibly a 9 out of 10. I really do like this redesign.
Ultra.
Now, destroy all organics.
Now this version, actually, I like a little bit more than his version more based on the comics. This version is based a little bit more similar to, I guess you could say, the MCU version of Ultron. I give his base form or design, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's pretty solid overall, honestly. And I like some of his other colors, like this one. The gold version, like, if I was to base on like that, I'd probably give that a 9 out of 10. I love the gold look on him. But then there's this version, which is more loyal to the comic book. This version, unfortunately, I have to give like a 7 out of 10. I don't like it as much as his base version in this game. Sorry, Ultron. Next up,
Iron Man.
Boot up complete.
okay, this version, I would say his base outfit, I give base Iron Man an 8 out of 10. It's solid, really well designed. I give his special, though, a 9 out of 10. I love this version, which is from, I believe it was Infamous Iron Man comic series, that has the like symbiote style liquid metal version Iron Man suit, which I do like, and I think the design overall is pretty good on this version. Honestly, I like this color and design overall. So yeah, I give this version between an 8.5 and 9 out of 10. I really like it. More than some people.
Nova.
The real Guardian of the Galaxy is Nova.
I give base Nova probably a 7.5 out of 10. Pretty decent overall. It's really nice design based on comics. But this souped up version, this is just epic design version of Nova. I give this version of Nova a 9 to possibly a 9.5 out of 10. I love this design. This version of Nova is just awesome looking. I love the whole cyber-like robot look. Next up,
Thor.
Thor Odinson joins the fray.
base Thor, I give a 5.5 out of 10 to. I'm sorry, base Thor, I just don't care as much for the design. This version, like I said, the other I gave a 5 out of 10, or a 5.5 or something like that. I give this maybe a 4.5 out of 10. It is one of my least favorite costumes in the whole game. This version of Thor I actually like. This is the only one of the 3 costumes that I actually like this Which, of course, this was one of the 4 special exclusive skins only for pre-ordering. But this version of Thor, I give it maybe a 7 out of 10. I think it's a lot better than the others, that's for sure. Next up,
Captain Marvel.
Reporting for duty.
base version of Captain Marvel, I give her a 6 out of 10. It's not bad. Now, this version I actually think looks better, based more on the comic books, of course. This version of Marvel, I give it maybe a 7.5. I think it's better. Now, this version actually, presently, I like quite a bit. I give this version also probably about 7.5 out of 10. Next is one of the most unique.
Smash!
Base Hulk. I give Base Hulk a 6 to possibly a 6.5 out of 10. It's not bad overall. Loyal, of course, to the comic. This version of Thor, I actually really dig. I give this version of Hulk I give it an 8.5 out of 10. I like it quite a bit. Now, the next one I give a 9 out of 10. Gladiator Hulk. I actually really like the armor, and I actually like... One, I do like this, though I actually like the base colored better. And it's, of course, very close to, obviously, like a Ragnarok movie. Same with the special third costume of Thor as well. Next up,
Captain America.
Reporting for duty.
Base Cap, I give a 7 out of 10. Base Cap's not bad, and definitely has elements of, you can tell, the MCU in his costume design. It's not bad by any means. This version, though, is kind of odd. I give this one a 6 out of 10. It's just bizarre, though. It is referencing specific event and time from some of the comics.
Spider-Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man at your service.
Now this, I actually like base Spider-Man, though of colors, I like this version, of course, which is referenced in comics as well. But I love this one. Base Spider-Man, I give a 6.5. This version of Spider-Man, now, rather, if I was to base it, give a score, base it on this one specifically, I give this color variant of this costume an 8 out of 10. I actually like it quite a bit.
Dormammu.
I am true power.
Base Dormammu, I give about a 7 out of 10 to a 7.5, around that range. Now, even though this version reminds me a bit of Dark Khan, now I personally like this color arrangement best. I give this version actually about an 8 out of 10. Even though it kind of reminds of Dark Khan, I don't mind it at all, in honesty, unlike Maximilian do. But next up,
Black Widow.
Excellent choice.
base Black Widow, which more based on MCU version, obviously, costume design. I give it a 6.5. This version, I give a 5. It's definitely my top 3 least favorite costumes on the Marvel side. Well, quickly show this. This is, of course, based more on the MCU version of Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Ready for my assignment.
Now, personally, I give this version of this design stuff of Winter Soldier, I give it a 8 out of 10. I actually like it quite a bit. Specifically, one, I like this color variant. This one and this one. His special version, though, I give like a 5.5. I don't care much to it. Now, first I'll show this.
Black
I
Panther.
am honored.
Base Black Panther, I give a 7.5 out of 10. But, with that said, this version of Black Panther, specifically this color, right here, I give this version of Black Panther, it gets a 9 out of 10 for me. I love this design quite a bit. Next, though,
Venom.
Let the fun times begin.
a base version of Venom costume. I'm gonna have to give base Venom a 9 out of 10. Definitely about the highest score of base costumes. I give this a 9, maybe even a 9.5 out of 10. And I also like that color variant. Next, though, the special costume being a reference to Anti-Venom, which is one of my all-time favorite designs of symbiotes in the comics. And I do like the fact that this color arrangement kind of reminds me a little bit of Carnage. It's pretty cool. But I give Anti-Venom a 10 out of 10. One of only like 3 costumes I give a perfect 10 out of 10 to. I've always been a big fan of Anti-Venom. So yeah, base Venom gets like a 9 out of 10, Anti-Venom gets a 10 out of 10. And that has nothing to do with the fact I also happen to really love playing with Venom. Okay, now on to the Capcom side.
Frank.
Let me out there, boss.
Basic version of Frank West, I give a 5 out of 10. Nothing special. Now his special, however, being a reference to a certain Mega Man character, I give this costume, just because of the nostalgia factor reference to Mega Man, I give it a 7 out of 10. I like the reference. Next up,
Arthur.
Sir Arthur, at thy service.
yes, Arthur. Base version Arthur, I give a 6 out of 10. Nothing special, but it's not bad. His, however, premium or special, I give this a 7 out of 10. I like it. It's not super impressive, but I do think it's a little bit of improvement, and I love the wings attached. I think it's cool. I love the fact that it's a reference, of course, from Ghosts and Goblins. Next up, base.
Strider Hiryu.
Strider hear you moving in.
Oops. I actually surprisingly like this color arrangement, but yeah, Strider base costume. I actually think I like base Strider actually a bit more than other Strider, which is based on Strider Hien, I believe. Base Strider, I give an 8.5 out of 10. I really like. I've always liked the base design of Strider. I give this version of Strider, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's not bad. I don't like it as much as base Strider, which actually gets a point more. Definitely one of the best design, I think, base costumes from the Capcom side in the game.
Chris.
This is Chris, ready to move out.
Base Chris Redfield, I give this probably a 7 out of 10. Nothing special, but it's not bad, honestly, design. This version of, I'm also going to give it a 7 out of 10. I do like the jacket and stuff just a little bit more, but not enough to give it any higher points. Sorry, Chris. Next up, first we'll go with base
Zero.
Zero.
combat zone.
I give base 0, give or take. I have to give his base version probably a 7.5 out of 10. Now, keep in mind, I'm being a little biased, just because I'm a big uber fan of the X series. So yeah, 7.5. However, his special, and specifically this color variant, if I was just a base normal, I give the base color like a 8. However, this version of the costume color-wise, yeah, I'm gonna give this version a 9 out of 10. I love it quite a bit.
X.
Roger. Reporting for duty.
Base version of X, I'm gonna give a 7.5 out of 10. I like it, base form, perfect representation from the X games. Now this, actually, with the whole like digital scarf and stuff, I give this version a 8.5 out of 10. Surprisingly, I like this color best of this costume design. But yeah, I definitely really like it. So yeah, I give this version an 8.5 out of 10. However, this version, yeah, I'm gonna give this version a 9 out of 10. Love it. I don't like the soulless looking eyes on the costume, unfortunately. That's what keeps it from getting like a 9.5. But yeah, I give this a 9 out of 10. Next up,
Nemesis.
Basic Nemesis, I'm actually gonna give an 8 out of 10. I love the design overall of Nemesis. I've always been a big fan of him. So yeah, I really do like the base costume. This one I'm gonna give actually a 9 out of 10. I like the fact that it's a reference to a certain character from, of course, Resident Evil 2. Because the jacket was used on him, but I like the reference to Resident Evil 2, which is why I give it like a 9 out of 10, just because the reference to it. That's one thing I like about the Capcom Marvel vs. Capcom series. I like most, and I understand most of the Marvel references and most of the Capcom references, so that's a good thing. Next up, I'm going to quickly do some of the ones I like least amount first and get them out of the way.
Spencer.
Let's get this party started.
I hate that whole let's get this party started thing. But anyways, I give base Spencer a 5 out of 10. This version of Spencer, a 4 out of 10. I'm sorry, Spencer, you're my least favorite Capcom character design-wise. I just think you suck in design. Sorry. Gameplay-wise, I actually don't mind Spencer at all. I think gameplay-wise, he's not bad. Now, on some of the others, quickly, get some of these others out of the way.
Chun-Li.
谢谢.
Base version of Chun, I'm gonna give her this version design of her classic costume from 2. I give it a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's bad at all, honestly. Now, I actually like this because this is a reference to ending clips at the end of Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo game. When she decides, supposedly after avenging her father's death, become a normal girl. I like, and for that and sentimental stuff, I give this costume a 7.5 out of 10. Next up,
Morrigan.
We be the finest dream.
okay then, Morrigan. Base costume, I am gonna have to give this a 7.5 out of 10. I like it. I've always liked her base costume design, honestly. Now, I really do like this version costume, a reference to, like, after, like, victory and stuff from a fight. It's a reference to classic stuff in Vampire Savior, when she shows her in, like, night, like, clubbing clothes. Personally, I think I probably like this coloration best, personally. But I give this version of Morrigan, I give it also a 7.5 out of 10. It's not bad, solid overall.
Hagar.
The fighting mayor! That's me!
Base version of Mike Hagar, I give a 7 out of 10. It's not bad overall. Now, I actually like this version best. Now, the specific color and version of the costume, I give this probably a 7.5 out of 10. I don't think it's bad at all.
Firebrand.
Basic Firebrand, I give a 7 out of 10. It's not bad overall design-wise, it's okay. Now, however, his special version, which looks way more monstrous and way cooler, I give this version an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's a pretty solid design overall. I really like it. Quickly do some of the others quickly before I get to a few specific characters.
Monster
Is
Hunter.
this a new quest?
Base costume of Monster Hunter, I give this, honestly, I'm gonna give base Monster Hunter 8 out of 10. I really like her armor design and everything. This is one of my personal favorite colors. That and probably the red are probably my two favorite. But yeah, I give it 8 out of 10. Really like it. Her secondary costume, probably my favorite color arrangement is this one. I give it, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I really like it overall. I think she's probably my favorite female character overall design-wise in the game. Next up, quickly do
Sigma.
All is according to plan.
Base Sigma. I have to give Base Sigma honestly, an 8 out of 10. Yes, it's because I love the Mega Man X series. Like I said before. Reason why I gave pretty decent scores overall to 0 and to X. And yeah, I give 8 out of 10 to base version of him. Color-wise, I think of his costumes, I actually like this black variant and the purple one. Now his special costume, specifically this arrangement of the colors and everything, I give this version of Sigma a 9 out of 10, just like 0 and X. Yeah, I'm giving a 9 out of 10. Now for the last three, specifically waited on for a reason. First up, Ryu.
Ryu.
I shall fight.
Base Ryu, I'm gonna give a 7.5 out of 10. I really like it. This version of Ryu, I'm gonna give an 8 out of 10. I really like the battle damage and everything design-wise. I think it's solid, really well done. This version, however, Evil Ryu, with the whole detail and everything, costume design. Yes, I'm being biased. I give Evil Ryu a 10 out of 10. I love it. I absolutely love this skin so much.
Dante.
Let's get the party started.
Okay, base Dante, I'm gonna give a 7.5 out of 10. I don't think it's great. Obviously, it's supposed to be after DMC3 Dante. This is not gonna make me popular with people, but his skin from DMC Devil May Cry, specifically, I really like this version of the costume and this one. I give DMC Dante, I give it, oh boy, yeah, people are not gonna like this. I give DMC Skin Dante a 9.5 out of 10. Yes, I like it quite a bit. Now for last, Jeddah.
Jeddah.
I am the beginning and the end.
base version of Jeddah immediately, 9 out of 10. I love the base design of Jeddah, always have. So yeah, 9 out of 10. His special version with the whole techno thing going on, yeah, it gets a 10 out of 10. Perfect score. So, overall, oh wait, that's right, I forgot one other character.
Thanos.
No one is my equal.
Now, the Farmer Thanos, I give him an 8 out of 10. Base Thanos, specifically this color, Thanos gets a 10 out of 10 as well. So yeah, that's right. Total in the game, there's only 4 characters in the game. Specific costume get a 10 out of 10. Base, this specific color arrangement, base Thanos, Anti-Venom, Evil Ryu skin, and Techno Jeddah are the only 4 that get a perfect 10 out of 10 score. And that is my list of base, or rather, character costume, or rate the costume. And that's it for this video. I hope everyone out there has a good rest of the week and good rest of September. And I'll see y'all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel.